Have you ever wondered how your daily habits could either empower or hinder your health and happiness as you age? In a world where many overlook the importance of wellness, financial independence, and a positive mindset, it's crucial to recognize that our choices today shape our tomorrow. In this video, we will explore the transformative stories of individuals like Kim Young-woo, who learned the hard way about the consequences of neglecting health, and Lee Soon-ja, who faced the reality of financial dependence in her golden years. Their experiences serve as powerful reminders that taking proactive steps in our health and finances can lead to a fulfilling life. By staying with us until the end, you'll discover actionable strategies that can help you improve your health, achieve financial independence, and cultivate a positive mindset, regardless of your age. Plus, we'll share invaluable tips that you can start implementing right away to enhance your quality of life. Don't miss out on these insights that could change your perspective and inspire you to take charge of your life. Let's embark on this journey together and unlock the secrets to a healthier, wealthier, and more positive future. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. The first thing I want to talk about is health. Health is truly one of our most precious assets, yet, ironically, it's often the one thing we take for granted until it's too late. Recently, I came across a story that resonated with me, a story of sacrifice, struggle, and profound regret. It's about a man named Kim Young-woo, now 62, who spent over 30 years working on construction sites. Every day, he would wake up at 4 a.m., his body tired before the day even began, and work until 10 p.m. under the relentless sun or the biting cold. This punishing schedule became his reality, a routine he endured not because he wanted to, but because he had to. Day after day, Kim pushed himself past his limits, ignoring his body's calls for rest. Back pain. Just slap on a patch and keep going. Muscle aches. A quick glass of soju to numb the pain, and he'd be right back at it the next day. For him, taking a break was a luxury he simply couldn't afford. Every day he didn't work was a day his family could go without. As for regular health checkups, those were out of the question. He believed his strength was endless, that his body could endure anything. Kim thought he was invincible, that his sacrifices would always be enough to see him through. In those years, he worked relentlessly to give his family a better life, especially his 2 children. He paid for their education, sending his eldest daughter to college, where she later became a public servant. His son, too, found a stable job in a company. Kim took immense pride in his children's achievements, feeling that his sacrifices were worth every drop of sweat and every sleepless night. When his children got married, he wanted to help them start their lives comfortably. Without hesitation, he dipped into his retirement savings and even took on debt, believing that his children would eventually care for him in his old age, as he had done for them. But life doesn't always go as planned. After retirement, Kim continued to work at the construction site to cover his living expenses, thinking he could keep going just a little longer. But one day, his body gave out. He collapsed in pain, and after a trip to the hospital, he was diagnosed with severe spinal stenosis and a herniated disc. The doctors told him surgery was the only option, and it was urgent. It was in that hospital bed, facing surgery and months of rehabilitation, that regret began to gnaw at him. How could he have ignored his health for so long? All those little pains he'd brushed aside with a patch and a drink. They had added up, accumulating until his body could no longer endure it. The surgery cost him nearly half of his savings, 20 million won, and the rehabilitation afterward was grueling. The once strong man who could work 18 hours a day now struggled to walk without pain. He had to quit his job permanently, and for the first time in his life, he found himself in a position he never imagined. He had to rely on his children for financial help. His pain was so debilitating that he couldn't even go to the bathroom on his own. His daughter, balancing her career and young children, tried to help when she could, but her hands were full. His son, often stationed far away for work, sent money for hospital bills, alternating with his sister. And each time Kim saw that money come in, his heart broke a little more. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. What hurt most was the feeling that he was now a burden to the very children he had sacrificed everything for. He felt a deep shame, a guilt that weighed heavy on his heart. I thought I was doing the right thing, providing for them, helping them build their lives. But I never stopped to think about what would happen if I couldn't take care of myself. He would look at his children, knowing they had their financial struggles, and wished with all his heart that he could turn back time. If only I had saved a little more. If only I had gone to the doctor when I felt the pain start. If only I had taken care of myself, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation now. Now, Kim has had a wake-up call that many people only get when it's too late. Every morning, he goes for a slow, careful walk around the park near his home. He no longer takes his body for granted, realizing that his health is something no amount of money can buy. If I could go back, even just a few years, I would change everything. I would dedicate just 1 hour a day to my health. Now I see that taking care of myself isn't just for me. It's for my children so that I don't become a burden to them. And Kim's story isn't unique. Countless others ignore the signs their bodies are giving them, thinking it's just age or a passing discomfort. Those little aches and pains, the stiff back, the sore knees, the frequent trips to the bathroom at night, often go unaddressed until they turn into something far more serious. According to the National Health Insurance Corporation, a staggering 83% of people over 60 suffer from chronic illnesses. And most of these conditions could have been prevented with early care in their 40s and 50s. Take the case of Bang Myongja, a 68-year-old former elementary school teacher who spent over 30 years standing in front of her students, giving her all to her work. 4 years, she was on her feet, pacing the classroom, teaching with passion. After she retired, however, she began to experience persistent knee pain. At first, she thought it was minor, something she could manage with rest. But as time went by, her pain intensified until even a trip to the grocery store became an ordeal. Now, playing with her grandchildren, something she had looked forward to, feels almost impossible. Every time I have to ask my children for help, I feel guilty. I don't want them to see me this way. These stories are stark reminders of just how important it is to prioritize health before it's too late. Health isn't something to put off until tomorrow or push aside in the rush of daily life. It's something we owe to ourselves and to those we love. If you're feeling those small signs, a stiff back, sore knees, or anything out of the ordinary, listen to them. Take care of yourself today, because a time may come when you wish with all your heart that you had done so sooner. Your health is a gift, one that can't be bought or replaced. If only I had taken better care of myself, perhaps my children wouldn't have to worry about me as much as they do now, she says with a sigh, her voice laced with regret and a hint of sorrow. Looking back, I realize that if I had just set aside a small amount of money for regular health checkups, or if I'd made time for a little exercise each day, I might have avoided all of this. I could have been stronger and more resilient, and spared my family from the burden of worrying about my health. But now, I'm doing everything I can to make a change, even if it feels like it's a little late. It's a story that resonates with so many of us, especially as we get older. We take our bodies for granted, pushing through small aches and ignoring subtle warnings because we feel fine for the most part. Perhaps you've felt this way too. You wake up with a slight twinge in your back or notice that your knees ache a little after climbing the stairs, but it's easy to brush these things off, to chalk them up to aging, to assume they're just part of life. Our bodies, however, are always speaking to us, whispering in ways we might not immediately understand. Those aches and pains, the stiffness in our joints, or even a sudden lack of energy, they are all messages, gentle reminders that our health needs attention. Ignoring these signals only lets problems fester and grow, making it harder to reverse the damage later on. Bang Myung-ja felt this realization hit her all at once. Though she might have wished she'd taken action sooner, she refused to let regret hold her back. She decided to take control of her health, and step by step, she started making changes. It was not easy. Far from it. Even the simple act of walking around the small park near her home seemed like an overwhelming task at first. She would wake up early each morning, lacing up her shoes with determination, despite knowing that every step would be a challenge. And yet, she persisted. She took it day by day, sometimes even step by step, telling herself that if she could just get through one more day, she would be closer to her goal. At first, she could barely manage to walk for 10 minutes without feeling a sharp pain in her knees, forcing her to stop and rest frequently. It would have been easy to give up, to let that pain convince her that she was too old, too weak, or that it was just too late. But she held on to the belief that things could get better, that every small effort mattered. She began aqua aerobics at a nearby pool, a gentler exercise on her joints, and soon noticed small improvements. 6 months later, she found herself walking for 40 minutes each day, her steps lighter and her spirit lifted. These days, she even takes her grandchildren to the park, watching them play as she moves with a new sense of purpose and vitality. "I feel alive again," she says with a smile, a simple statement that holds a wealth of meaning. Her journey of change didn't stop with physical exercise. As she regained her strength, her entire outlook on health and well-being transformed. She started paying attention to other areas of her life, making healthier choices one step at a time. She began to eat more mindfully, cutting down on late-night snacks and opting for balanced, nourishing meals. The weight she lost, just 4 kilograms, felt like a triumph, a symbol of her hard work and dedication. Her knees ached less, and her movements became easier, but perhaps the most remarkable change was in her reflection. "When I look at myself in the mirror, I see a brighter, more vibrant face looking back at me," she says, almost in disbelief. "It's like I've rediscovered a part of myself that I thought was long gone." The truth is, health isn't something we're given. It's something we cultivate, an invaluable asset that we have to nurture and protect. We need to invest in it, little by little, day by day, knowing that each small effort builds on the last. So, where do we begin? Here are a few simple, meaningful steps to help you start. Set aside 15 minutes every morning for movement. Whether it's stretching, a brisk walk, or gentle exercises, let those 15 minutes be a time dedicated to yourself. If exercising alone feels daunting, consider joining a program at a local community or wellness center. There are often resources available, and having a group can make it more enjoyable. Take a light walk after each meal. A brief 10-minute walk can make a significant difference, helping to manage blood sugar levels and improve circulation. To make it even more enjoyable, listen to an audiobook or some relaxing music. Let this walk be a moment of peace, a way to unwind and take in the world around you. End your day with gentle stretches. Simple stretches, even while lying in bed, can help to relieve tension and prepare your body for a restful night's sleep. If you're new to stretching, try searching for elderly stretching exercises on YouTube, where you'll find a range of routines that cater to all abilities. For those with joint discomfort, chair-based stretches are a great starting point and can be done at a comfortable pace. It's easy to think, "I'm not good at exercising," or "it's too late to start now." But holding on to these thoughts will only lead to regret later. Countless older adults have shared the same message. "I wish I had taken care of my health when I was younger." Don't let that be your story. Each day offers a fresh chance to care for your body, to invest in the strength and vitality that will carry you forward. Maintaining your health isn't just about preventing illness. It's about preserving your independence, protecting your finances, and being there for your loved ones without becoming a burden. Because in the end, our health is the foundation upon which we build everything else in life. With good health, you have the freedom to live as you choose and to embrace each day with energy and confidence. Even if you've neglected your health in the past, remember, It's never too late to start anew. Let each small step you take today be a gift to yourself and your loved ones, a testament to your commitment to a life of strength, resilience, and joy. The second thing I want to discuss is financial independence. The second topic I want to address is financial independence, an aspiration that so many of us hold, yet one that can feel difficult to secure, especially as we age. In a world where we often rely on family, friends, and institutions at different points in our lives, achieving true financial independence becomes not only a goal but a source of dignity, resilience, and, in many cases, survival. Let me share the story of Lee Soonja, a woman whose life has become a poignant testament to both the struggle and necessity of financial independence. At 67, Lee Soonja has spent more than 30 years working as a cashier in a small local mart, a position that may not seem glamorous or lucrative to most but has been her steady anchor through the years. Back when she first began, her wages were modest, just enough to help cover the basics. But at the time, it was manageable. Her husband also had a job, so between the two of them, they managed to make ends meet. She had dreams of saving for herself, but those dreams were quickly tempered by the realities of family life. As a mother, she chose to prioritize her children's future over her own financial security, using every paycheck to cover their academy fees, tutoring, and all the little expenses that add up when you're raising a family. There were too many places to spend money, she reflects, looking back on the years with a mixture of pride and regret. Saving for herself wasn't even a consideration. Her husband, who worked as a sales manager at a small company, retired 5 years ago. At first, they lived off his retirement pay, carefully managing each penny. But life threw them an unexpected curveball when his health took a drastic turn. He was hospitalized multiple times, and his condition worsened until, eventually, he suffered a stroke that left him partially paralyzed. The hospital bills started to pile up, draining their savings much faster than anticipated. What little money they had left was quickly devoured by medical expenses, leaving them without any financial cushion to fall back on. Their savings were exhausted, and they found themselves in a dire financial situation. Their children, now adults with families of their own, initially tried to step in and help. Her eldest daughter sent 500,000 won each month, and her son contributed another 300,000 won. While this support was undoubtedly a blessing, it still wasn't enough to cover the rising hospital costs and daily living expenses. Lee Soonja felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude, but also a deep sorrow that her situation had come to this, depending on her children just to survive. After a few months, however, the strain became apparent. Her children, too, were feeling the burden. They had their own families to care for, and their bills to pay, and supporting their parents started to strain their finances as well. For Lee Soonja, this realization was like a blow to the heart. She had always given everything to her children, never imagining she would one day become a financial burden to them. Determined to regain some independence, Lee Soonja knew she had to go back to work. But finding employment at her age proved far from easy. After a long search, she managed to secure a part-time job that required her to be on her feet for hours each day. The work was grueling, starting at 2 p.m. and stretching late into the evening, a schedule that would be difficult even for someone much younger. Standing for 8 hours is hard. My legs ache terribly, but what choice do I have? She shares with a bittersweet smile, the resilience in her eyes masking the exhaustion she feels. It's painful to imagine her, at 67, pushing herself through such physical hardship just to cover the basics. Recently, her eldest daughter came over with news that weighed heavy on both of them. Due to her financial difficulties, she would have to cut back on the monthly support she had been sending. For Lee Soonja, this was a moment of heartbreak. She had always believed in her family, her children, as her safety net. Now, faced with this reality, she understood, painfully, that she could no longer rely on them. It was a sobering moment, one that brought tears to her eyes as she quietly accepted the burden of needing to fend for herself, completely and entirely. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Tragically, Lee Soon-ja's story is not an isolated case. The financial plight of South Korea's elderly is startlingly widespread. According to data from the National Statistical Office, South Korea has the highest elderly poverty rate among OECD countries, with a staggering 43.4% of individuals over 65 living below the poverty line. Among elderly couples who haven't prepared adequately for retirement, a heartbreaking 89% end up relying on financial support from their children. And it doesn't stop there. A survey by Seoul National University's Institute of Gerontology revealed that 52% of elderly households over 65 find their living expenses insufficient, with many forced to make cuts on essential medical treatments just to make ends meet. Imagine reaching an age where health should be a priority, only to be faced with the gut-wrenching decision of sacrificing it due to financial hardship. The reality for younger generations is no easier. Many in their 30s and 40s today are caught between supporting aging parents and managing the highest inflation and housing costs their country has ever seen. In a survey by the Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs, an overwhelming 82% of respondents in this age group reported feeling a significant burden when supporting their parents financially. With their own families to care for and a constant struggle to make ends meet, the weight of supporting both themselves and their parents is often overwhelming. And yet, amidst these stories of hardship, there are glimmers of hope, stories of people who planned and saved, often against the odds. One such example is 71-year-old Park Cheol-soo, who began planning for his retirement in his mid-40s. "I made it a point to put 30% of my salary into savings and pension insurance," he recalls with pride. While this meant living frugally, often at the expense of the luxuries his wife yearned for, he remained resolute. Other families might send their kids abroad to study, but we had to live tightly, he admits. But today, he looks back with relief, knowing that those sacrifices have allowed him and his wife a comfortable and independent life. They don't need to ask their children for financial help, nor do they feel the guilt of being a financial burden. They live confidently on a pension that supports not only their daily needs but also lets them enjoy life's little joys, like giving gifts to their grandchildren or taking occasional trips. But Park Cheol-soo's story doesn't stop at retirement. Instead of seeing it as an end, he viewed it as an opportunity for growth and fulfillment. Using part of his retirement pay, he took barista training and now works part-time at a small cafe in his apartment complex. The extra income is nice, but it's more than that, he says, his eyes lighting up with purpose. It's about taking pride in living my own life. For him, continuing to work isn't just a financial decision. It's a choice to remain engaged, to contribute, and to keep evolving. These stories, each unique, each powerful, remind us of the critical importance of financial independence, especially as we age. They underscore the need for early planning, the courage it takes to make sacrifices, and the freedom that comes from standing on one's own 2 feet. And while not everyone has the same opportunities, these stories highlight a universal truth. Financial independence is not just about money. It's about preserving dignity, living with confidence, and, ultimately, having the ability to face life on one's terms, regardless of what challenges arise. Here are the specific methods Park Cheol-soo implemented. The journey of financial security in later years often feels daunting. Yet the methods that Park Cheol-soo implemented illustrate just how powerful simple, intentional steps can be. For many, the prospect of retirement is clouded by uncertainty and worry, but Park's approach brings clarity and purpose to each stage. One of his foundational strategies was to separate his daily expenses from his retirement account. By dividing his finances into distinct accounts, he created a disciplined, mindful approach to managing money that relieved him of the constant anxiety around budgeting and overspending. When his salary came in, he would immediately set aside 30% into a dedicated retirement account. This method was more than just a habit. It was a symbolic gesture of commitment to his future self. Setting up automatic transfers for savings and insurance allowed him to take a hands-off approach to wealth building, almost like watching a small tree slowly grow, becoming stronger and more reliable with each passing year. This simple act of paying himself first highlights the power of small, consistent contributions that compound over time, gradually transforming into a robust foundation for his golden years. Another wise choice Park made was to delay receiving his national pension for as long as possible. This decision required both patience and vision, but the payoff was well worth the wait. For those born in 1969, the national pension is accessible at 65, yet delaying it by even 5 years results in a payout increase of around 35%. Imagine what that difference means over a lifetime, knowing that with each year he waited, his future would be more financially secure, allowing him to enjoy his later years with a deeper sense of peace and freedom. And, for those healthy enough to wait until 70, the increase can be a substantial game changer. Park's decision to delay, although seemingly minor at first glance, became a powerful investment in his future comfort, stability, and independence. Park also recognized the importance of creating multiple income streams, not just for the financial benefits but for the sense of purpose and vitality it brings in later years. Retirement can sometimes feel like an abrupt end to productivity, but Park challenged that narrative by preparing part-time income sources in his 50s. Whether through becoming a barista, pet caretaker, assistant teacher, or even a YouTuber, he explored new skills and hobbies that could be transformed into supplementary income streams. These roles not only kept him financially active but also emotionally engaged, giving him reasons to interact with the community, learn, and grow. There's something profoundly fulfilling about transforming a hobby or passion into a small business or side job, adding richness and excitement to the retirement years. Beyond his efforts, Park was also proactive in seeking support by meeting with social workers and senior welfare counselors at local community centers. Often, valuable resources and benefits remain untapped simply because people don't know they exist. By connecting with welfare counselors, Park gained access to a wealth of information, from employment opportunities to financial support programs, that would otherwise have remained out of reach. This step, though simple, opened doors for him to receive guidance and assistance tailored to his specific needs, illustrating the power of reaching out and staying informed. One of the core pillars of Park's financial strategy was diversification. He knew that keeping all his funds in one place could lead to unnecessary risk, so he spread his investments across savings accounts, pensions, insurance, and stock funds. Building a diversified portfolio wasn't just about wealth accumulation. It was a shield against life's uncertainties, ensuring that his financial security wouldn't be jeopardized by sudden market changes or unforeseen events. By consulting with financial experts to build a portfolio that suited his needs and comfort level, Park established a robust system that allowed him to feel secure and supported no matter what life threw his way. Park's final message is one of profound optimism and encouragement. Don't think, "It's too late, what can I do now?" This sentiment captures the heart of his philosophy. One of Park's friends, a person who initially felt overwhelmed by the thought of financial planning in his 60s, was inspired to begin the journey despite his doubts. With careful planning, he managed to retire at 60, putting his retirement funds into secure financial products and living off part-time earnings without ever touching his savings. After a decade of disciplined living, this friend now enjoys his 70s free from financial worry, able to rely on his pension and interest income for a comfortable life. His story serves as a beacon, proving that even starting later in life can yield remarkable results when done with intention and persistence. Then, there's the inspiring story of Kim Young-hee, a 68-year-old woman who, after a lifetime of being a devoted housewife, faced an unimaginable tragedy. Her husband, the pillar of her family's financial support, passed away unexpectedly, leaving her with 3 children, each of whom had completed college, and 200 million won from his insurance. Suddenly alone, Kim felt the heavy weight of uncertainty, unsure how she could sustain herself financially. Yet, despite the overwhelming sadness and anxiety, she chose to seek help and take control of her future. Kim reached out to retirement planners and financial counselors, allowing her to create a plan that honored her needs and respected her resources. Through detailed counseling, she understood that her 200 million won could not sustain her for the rest of her life without careful management. With her advisor's guidance, she divided her funds thoughtfully. 100 million won was invested in income-generating real estate, which now provides her with a stable monthly rental income of 1.5 million won. She allocated another 50 million won to national housing bonds, securing a reliable source of interest income. Finally, she kept 20 million won in a fixed deposit as an emergency fund and put a portion into stock funds for potential growth. The transformation was life-changing. Kim no longer has to rely on her children for support, freeing her from the burden of financial dependency and bringing her a newfound sense of peace and dignity. She now enjoys the freedom to give small allowances to her grandchildren, enriching her role in the family and allowing her to express her love and care in ways she once thought impossible. Kim's story is a testament to resilience and hope, a reminder that, with the right support and determination, it's possible to regain control and live with pride, independence, and purpose. Both Park Cheol-soo and Kim Young-hee's journeys reveal that financial security in later years is not just about numbers. It's about reclaiming one's sense of control, independence, and self-worth. Their stories inspire us all to start where we are, with what we have, knowing that with a thoughtful approach, the peace and security of retirement can be within reach for anyone willing to take that first step. Do you think you don't have money to save, or think it's too late to invest now? Are you someone who thinks you don't have enough money to save, or maybe you feel like it's too late to start investing and building a future for yourself? If so, I want to share a story with you that might just change your perspective. A story about resilience, courage, and the unstoppable human spirit. Let me introduce you to Choi Byung-chul, a 72-year-old man from Gangwon-do, South Korea. Just 5 years ago, Choi's life was in complete shambles. At the age of 67, he faced a devastating financial crisis that left him bankrupt, with debts that piled up until he had nothing left but 50 million won in credit card debt. Imagine the crushing weight of that, losing everything you worked for and realizing that your life as you knew it had fallen apart. The shame, the hopelessness, the feeling of having nowhere to turn must have been unbearable. Embarrassed and ashamed, Choi couldn't bring himself to face his children with such a heavy burden, so he left everything he knew behind and retreated to the countryside, alone. But here's where the story takes a powerful turn. Choi could have given up. He could have accepted his situation as the end of his story. Instead, he made the brave decision to start over from scratch, despite his age, his losses, and his fears. His first step was to clear the debts he owed, so he filed for bankruptcy, a difficult but necessary choice that marked a fresh start. He wasn't looking for miracles. He was ready to put in the work, one step at a time. Alone in the countryside, Choi began to rebuild his life with his own two hands. He started small, with a modest vegetable garden. He didn't have grand plans in the beginning. He simply wanted to grow enough food to feed himself. But as he spent more time working the soil, he began to see potential. Slowly, he expanded his garden, transforming it into a 5,000 pyong, around 16,500 square meters, farm, growing an array of organic vegetables. Over time, he developed a direct sales model, offering fresh produce directly to customers, cutting out middlemen, and earning himself a stable income of around 2 million won every month. For Choi, his farm is more than just a source of income. It's a testament to his resilience and proof that it's never too late to start again. He often says, "Don't think it's too late. I started again at 67 years old, and now my credit has recovered to the point where banks even offer me agricultural loans." And he isn't stopping there. Next year, he dreams of expanding even further, planning to build additional greenhouses to grow his business and secure a stronger future. Choi's journey is a reminder that financial independence isn't about age. It's about determination, the courage to take action, and the willingness to start small. He teaches us that even if we feel defeated, we can rebuild, one day at a time, as long as we have the will to take those steps forward. Choi's story might be extraordinary, but the steps he took are something anyone can learn from. Let's break down some of the ways you can begin building your path to financial security, even if it feels like you're starting late in life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 1. Track your daily spending. One of the first steps to financial security is understanding where your money goes. Start by recording each expense daily. This might seem like a small or tedious task, but after just 1 month, you'll start to see patterns in your spending, and you may be surprised by how much money is slipping through on small, unnecessary expenses. Smartphone budgeting apps can make this process easier and more insightful, giving you a clear picture of where you can cut back. 2. Audit your fixed expenses. Monthly bills, such as communication fees, insurance premiums, and utility costs, often contain hidden or unnecessary costs. Take the time to review these expenses carefully. Are you paying for services you don't use? Are there cheaper alternatives that offer the same benefits? By cutting down on these expenses, you're not just saving a few here and there. You're creating a healthier financial foundation for yourself over time. 3. Explore new income opportunities. Choi didn't let age hold him back from pursuing work, and neither should you. There are countless jobs available to seniors that allow flexibility and offer a steady income. Roles in apartment security, parking management, or parcel sorting are a few examples. And many communities also offer senior job programs through welfare centers. Finding a small, manageable role can help not only with financial stability but also give a sense of purpose and connection to others. 4. Seek out financial education. Education is a powerful tool, and many local offices and community centers offer free financial classes, often tailored for retirees. These classes can help you understand the basics of saving, investing, and managing your resources wisely. You may find classes on subjects such as budgeting, financial planning, and investment strategies specifically geared towards seniors. It's never too late to learn, and this knowledge can empower you to take control of your finances and make more informed decisions. 5. Build financial independence from your children. It's natural to want to rely on family, but today's economic realities mean that many children are struggling to support themselves, let alone their parents. Choi's decision to secure his future was, in many ways, an act of love toward his family, sparing them the burden of financial worry. Preparing to be financially independent allows you to live with dignity and confidence, knowing you can support yourself and live on your terms. There's a saying that life begins at 60, and Choi's story is proof that it's never too late to turn things around. Why not start today? Invest in yourself, not just financially but emotionally. The simple act of saving money, even if it starts with small steps, brings a deep sense of calm and security. Imagine waking up each day feeling at ease, free from the anxieties that can come with financial uncertainty. You'll walk with a renewed sense of confidence, knowing that you are building a future for yourself, independent of anyone else. In choosing this path, you're giving your family a precious gift, the peace of knowing you are safe, secure, and happy. Choi's story isn't just an inspiring tale, it's a call to action for anyone who thinks they've run out of time. Life, as he's shown us, doesn't have to follow a predictable path. As long as we're alive, we have the power to change our story, one determined step at a time. Lastly, I want to share the most important story: a positive mindset. I met an extraordinary woman last fall, a 71-year-old grandmother named Jang Mi-young. 5 years ago, she was living a life that felt like a never-ending storm, trapped in a deep depression that seemed impossible to escape. Losing her husband had shattered her world, and with her children busy and rarely in touch, her days became empty, lonely, and filled with sorrow. Each morning, she would wake up to face the day with no sense of purpose, and by nightfall, she would be wrapped in the same overwhelming sadness. The years drifted by in this haze, and the toll it took on her was devastating. Her depression was not only affecting her mind but was worsening her diabetes and hypertension. Doctors tried to help, urging her to change her mindset as a path to healing, but as anyone who has felt the weight of despair knows, such a change doesn't come easily. It felt like an impossible task until one day, her young granddaughter came to visit. Looking into her grandmother's weary eyes, the child burst into tears and said, "Grandma, you used to always be so happy and positive. What's happened? Why are you like this now?" Those innocent words cut right through Jang Mi-young's heart. They stirred something deep within her, a memory of the woman she once was, joyful, hopeful, and full of life. That moment was a spark, a reminder of the light she had lost, and from then on, she decided she couldn't let sadness define her anymore. On a whim, she picked up a gratitude journal and forced herself to write down 3 simple things she was grateful for each day. Her entries started small, almost mechanical. I woke up this morning, I enjoyed a warm cup of soy milk, and I saw a little bird flying outside the window. At first, it felt strange, almost silly, but gradually, something magical began to happen. Within weeks, she found herself noticing the beauty in everyday things. The warmth of sunlight streaming through her window, the gentle smile of a cashier at the grocery store. Her heart, once heavy with sorrow, began to feel just a bit lighter. After 3 months, something extraordinary happened. Her smile returned. It was as if each entry in that gratitude journal added a small piece of happiness back into her heart. Science supports her transformation. A study by Seoul National University's Department of Psychology found that elderly people with a positive outlook live, on average, 7 years longer and have a significantly lower risk of dementia. Professor Robert Waldinger from American University has found that a positive mindset does more than uplift the soul. It changes the body. It releases neurotransmitters that boost immunity, improve heart health, and increase resilience. It's true. The mind truly shapes the body. Today, Jang Mi-young is a new woman. Her gratitude practice led her to discover a passion for writing, and she now leads a writing group that grew out of an essay class she joined. Last year, they even published a collection of essays, a proud achievement that she could never have imagined back when she was lost in sadness. She found not only joy but a purpose, a reason to wake up with excitement and to share her newfound passion with others. And her story is not the only one. Another inspiring figure, 75-year-old Kim Jong, spent decades as a respected employee, only to find himself feeling invisible and purposeless after retirement. At work, I was respected, but at home, I felt like just another old man, he admitted. At first, he too sank into a deep loneliness, feeling as though he had lost his identity. But Kim Jong didn't give up. Every morning, he looked in the mirror and repeated 3 affirmations. I am valuable, I am capable of learning, and I am still growing. These words felt awkward at first, almost hollow, but he stuck with it. Eventually, he started to believe them, and with that belief, he opened himself up to new opportunities. He joined a mentorship program to share his wealth of experience with young students. To his surprise, the kids were genuinely interested in his stories, listening intently and even calling him Professor Kim. This newfound purpose reignited a spark in him, reminding him that age does not diminish our worth, it adds to it. A recent study by the Korea National Council, surveying over 3,000 elderly individuals, showed that those who actively engage in meaningful activities experience 96% higher satisfaction with their lives. Yet, it's not just about keeping busy. It's about cultivating that mindset, building positivity like a muscle. Dr. Park, a well-respected psychiatrist, explains that a positive mindset isn't just an emotion. It's a discipline, a skill that requires daily practice and persistence. These stories teach us that, no matter how dark the path may seem, there is always a way to find light. Through simple practices like gratitude and affirmations, anyone can unlock the power of positivity and rediscover a life filled with purpose, joy, and resilience. These inspiring individuals show us that, at any age, a positive mindset can transform everything, giving us the strength to embrace life anew every single day. Realistic positivity is a way of embracing life with open arms, without pretending that everything is always perfect. It's about acknowledging the struggles, yet finding glimmers of hope within them, building resilience rather than false optimism. Accepting where you are now, in this very moment, while also believing that better days are ahead, is truly powerful. Here are a few heartfelt practices to incorporate each day to bring that sense of peace and positivity into your life. Each morning, start by opening your window wide. Breathe deeply, letting the morning sunlight fill your room and your heart. As you take 3 slow breaths, say to yourself, Today will be a good day. It's a gentle promise to yourself, a reminder that each new day holds its small miracles. Stretch your body, wake up your muscles, and feel the energy begin to flow. Even this simple ritual can create a sense of readiness for whatever comes your way. Another beautiful habit is keeping a gratitude journal. Every evening, jot down 3 things you're grateful for that day. They don't have to be grand moments. Just the small, wonderful things like a warm cup of tea or a comforting conversation. The act of feeling gratitude, even just for waking up that morning, can shift your entire mindset. Over time, you'll feel these small changes adding up, brightening your outlook, and grounding you in appreciation. Also, make time for small acts of happiness each day. Gift yourself little joys, like a cup of your favorite coffee, a peaceful walk while listening to music that moves you, or a quick call to an old friend. These moments of self-kindness are powerful. They remind you that happiness can be cultivated, even in the smallest of ways. Let me share the story of Yu Zhang, a 78-year-old from Busan. After a major surgery last year, Yu struggled with depression. Her teacher suggested a simple remedy: smile at least once a day. At first, Yu felt silly, forcing her mouth into a smile, but slowly, she noticed something incredible. By merely practicing smiling, her mood started to lift, and over time, that forced smile became genuine. Studies show that even a forced smile releases feel-good hormones. Your brain can't tell the difference. Yu Zhang, now a certified recreation instructor, leads laughter therapy at nursing homes. She says, "Laughing with others makes me feel young again. I never imagined that helping someone else could bring so much happiness to my own life." Challenge yourself to try new things without fear. Age is just a number. The idea that it's too late often holds us back, but that's exactly when we should begin. It's okay to stumble. The process of trying itself is an achievement. Take 82-year-old Bang Yong-sik, who recently began learning to use a smartphone. Though he struggled at first, his grandchildren guided him through, and he didn't give up. Now, he watches cooking videos, exchanges photos, and even connects with family on Kakao Talk. His grandson recently said, "Grandpa, you seem younger than ever." That spark, that zest for life, keeps the heart young. Nurturing relationships can bring joy and warmth to life. Make it a priority to meet up with others, perhaps by joining a community group or a local interest club. Lee Myung-suk, an 85-year-old who meets weekly with a poetry group, shares how writing and listening to others' stories brings healing. Recently, a member shared a poem about her late spouse, and we all wept together. In that moment, we were connected, each of our hearts a little lighter. This act of sharing builds bonds that make life richer. Creating a rhythm in daily life brings stability and peace. Establish regular times for meals and rest, and find moments of quiet solitude where you can reconnect with yourself. This kind of regularity forms the foundation of a resilient mindset. Finally, discover the profound happiness of giving. Small acts of kindness have a way of expanding the heart. In a village in Hengseong, elderly residents gather each week to make kimchi and side dishes for others in need. Initially, they hesitated, thinking, "Shouldn't we be the ones receiving help?" But as they saw the joy on the faces of those they served, they felt an unexpected warmth within. Knowing they could still make a difference gave them a sense of purpose. When they saw others smile, they too went home with full hearts and a restful night's sleep. Positivity, at its core, is a choice. As we grow older, we realize the immense power of our choices. We have years of wisdom, a lifetime of experiences, and now, perhaps more than ever, the ability to shape our days. Let go of thoughts like, "I'm old, my best days are behind me." Life still holds countless possibilities. You can still learn, still laugh, still give. Health and finances are essential, but they all start with the mind. Embrace each day with the belief that there is joy yet to come, and remember, a positive heart can make any age the prime of life. So far, I have talked about the 3 most reliable things in life after age 60. So far, I've shared with you the 3 most reliable and transformative pillars of life that take on a new significance after age 60. These pillars, health, financial independence, and a positive mindset, aren't just ideas but powerful guides that can help shape the years ahead into the most enriching, joyful, and meaningful phase of life. If we nurture these 3 areas, we open the door to a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Let's explore why each of these pillars matters so deeply and how they can truly empower us as we age. Health. Consider the story of Kim Young-woo, a man who spent his life working hard and making sacrifices, all while quietly committing to maintaining his health. His journey reminds us that health is the most precious asset we have, a treasure that, no matter how much we wish for it, money simply can't buy. Imagine waking up each morning feeling energetic and full of life, ready to embrace the day without the burden of chronic pain or the limitations of poor health. This vitality doesn't come from grand gestures or costly interventions. It often starts with something as simple as a daily 15-minute walk. Just 15 minutes. This small commitment can transform your life. Imagine each step as a gift to your body, a way of saying, "I value you. I am investing in you." Over time, this practice builds strength, stamina, and resilience, giving us the foundation to live each day with enthusiasm and freedom. It's about building a future where we can cherish life fully, where we have the physical energy to do the things we love and the mental clarity to truly enjoy every moment. Financial independence. There is a profound sense of peace that comes with financial independence, with knowing that we are capable of meeting our own needs without relying on others. Many of us have heard stories like that of Lee Soon-ja, who faced challenges and hardships in her later years because she didn't have the resources to support herself. Her story reminds us of the importance of being prepared, and of not leaving our futures up to chance. On the other hand, there are people like Park Cheol-soo, who made a point of preparing financially, ensuring that he could live his later years with dignity and self-assurance. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 4 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Financial independence doesn't mean we have to be wealthy. It's about having enough to live comfortably and confidently. It's about taking small, consistent steps toward security, whether that means saving a little each month or finding new ways to earn even after retirement. The actions don't have to be monumental. Small efforts, made consistently, can add up over time and create a cushion that protects us from worry and hardship. Imagine the joy of being able to make choices freely, to help your grandchildren with their education, or to travel to places you've always dreamed of visiting, without feeling like a burden to anyone. Financial independence is about embracing life with pride and peace, knowing that we've provided for ourselves. Positive mindset. Finally, there's the power of a positive mindset, perhaps the most transformative of all. Life throws challenges at us, regardless of our age. Health issues, loss, changes in our physical abilities, these can all take a toll on our spirit. But as people like Jang Mi-young and Yu Jong have shown, positivity is an incredible tool. Jang Mi-young's journey through depression led her to find a voice in writing, becoming an essayist who inspires others with her strength. Yu Jong, too, found purpose by becoming a laughter therapist, a calling she embraced after her difficult health journey. Their stories show that, no matter what we face, there is always a way to transform our struggles into something meaningful. A positive mindset helps us reframe life's difficulties as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. As we get older, it's easy to feel like time is slipping away, that we're losing options or opportunities. But the truth is, age is just a number. Inside each of us, there is boundless potential waiting to be tapped. The golden years are not a time to sit back and fade away. They are a time to shine brighter, share our wisdom, and pursue the dreams we may have put on hold. No matter what your age is right now, every moment is a chance to renew, to reinvent, and to find joy in ways you never imagined. As we wrap up, I hope these insights have sparked something meaningful for you. Whether it's a renewed commitment to your health, a step toward financial independence, or the power of maintaining a positive mindset, Each of these pillars can lead us toward a richer, more fulfilling life. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? What's one thing that stood out to you, something you're inspired to put into practice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might just inspire someone else as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're here to bring you more valuable content on living your best life at every age. Thank you for watching.